So don't worry about it and thinking that, gosh, they've missed a year of school. What they've missed is social interaction. They've missed really is interacting with adults outside of their family. What they've missed is really, getting used to an environment that was different from their house. That they will get used to when schools open. And mind you, they're not going to open anytime soon, especially preschools. So continue to operate the way you have, which is setting routines, systems in place. Don't overachieve. I know a lot of moms have started with, dance, music, sport, trying to substitute a school at home. It's not school at home. It is home, and they are being, nurtured in a particular way. My suggestion, and what Dr. Shweta does beautifully, is really read. Just through books, honestly, I want to save their childhood. If I could do that one change in early childhood education, I would have said just ditch everything else and just let's read more. Through that book, you can teach them math, science, concepts. You will take them on to metacognitive, abilities. That's it. So you're getting this opportunity. Plus. I know the pressure, right? I have to do it. I have, 3 hours they were in school, so I'll have to routine it in 3 hours. It's okay if it's 2 hours. But you're also getting time in the evening with your kid. Please have the detachment time though. That's my one advice to parents, because they feel the need to constantly be around and program these kids. So it almost becomes like a machine. Now 10-15 ye karo, fir 11 baje ye karo, fir 12 baje wo karo, fir 1 o'clock you have to sleep, and then this has to be done because that's the routine. That won't work. You'll have to be realistic around your work schedules. You have to believe that they have to get their rest at night and not napping through the day when you're working. There has to be some fitness routines, and you can do it in your house. I think Jaipur is lucky. Y'all are opened up more than Mumbai is, right?
Yes.
Y'all are all outdoors. So use that opportunity to get your kids out to play. My suggestion is, mums, if you've been the nurturer and the caretaker, and your spouse is busy or vice versa, my suggestion really is start the process of weaning out, which is make sure someone else is taking your child. Make sure your child is interacting with another adult if physical interaction is possible. Because what you're letting your child know is that you're there, but now you can also interact with others. Because that social anxiety that comes in with these little children, because you've scared them, right? You've put masks, you've told them wash your hands, don't talk to this one, don't touch this, don't. All they've heard is don't. Now suddenly you're saying get friendly with people you meet because preschools have started. The weaning off process takes about 3 or 4 months anyway, which will be a nice break for you. It'll be a lovely independent move for the kids, and this is where your spouses come in. Make sure that time. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing the tips.
But you think, Fatima, that preschoolers, because a lot of moms ask me this also, preschoolers who were like ready to go to preschool when pandemic hit, and now they're ready to move to probably they'll be ready to move to grade 1 when the entire scenario will be better. So it's okay just being home and then moving to grade 1 straight away.
Yeah, because this is what high schools are planning. Okay, they understand that these children have been away. So even Nipun Bharat, which is the national initiative, or even progressive schools or any schools, recognize these children have been away. So there's going to be a period of bridging and settling when the senior KG comes into grade 1. So the curriculum is already being revised. How we call settling period, even when your child goes to a nursery, give it 3 months. I mean, some kids settle in a week. So we understand anxiety. We as in the team there. So there will be a period of transition. I'm not denying it. There will be that resistance. There will be settling. There will be tears. So the concepts that you feel will be missed out will not be missed out, because once the child is emotionally secure, learning happens. Because all it does is transfer the home environment back to the school environment. And quite frankly, I just feel children are faster than we are. We'll take time to adjust. I will when I go back to my physical office. It'll be too new for me, but children do not seem to mind shift. It's also the orientation, which is why I said if you start the weaning off process and you identify a school that is along the same lines. But I know most national and international schools have been in discussion, and everyone's talking about at least 3 months of making sure the physical presence with emotional bonding is more important than, dishing down concepts.
They'll get
I
settling.
don't want you to, Dr. Shweta, I just feel parents shouldn't worry. There's just too much overthinking.
That's exactly what I've been, whenever I get to speak with parents, I tell them the same thing. But I feel, the stress of that, they're not doing preschool at all. It's like, जैसे graduation नहीं होगा हमारा and then job कैसे मिलेगा type वाली feeling हो जाती है. So I think Khushbu can relate to this.
But in your mind, your child has not gone to school, but your child has still learned at home.
Exactly.
Possibly more than what your child would have
going
learned.
to preschool would have learned, because they're learning in the best environment right now.
So a secret I have to tell you, I did have a preschool chain, but the centers were very far from my residence. And I didn't want my son to travel 1 hour. So he didn't go to a play group or a mother toddler or pre-nursery, as we call it in Mumbai. He straight went into high school. Yeah, my son took about a month to settle. I was that mother waiting outside, and my son would come and check whether I was waiting outside. It took a few, months. But I think because as parents, we were around, the way we were talking, the way we were exposing them, the information he had, it didn't make a difference. And guys, grade 1 is not about reading, writing. It's not about writing. Okay, we start off with listening, speaking, reading, writing. And if your reading is in place, I promise you, every year, everything will be in place. So
that's what we've been promising all these years.
Absolutely.
If you're guilty of that, nothing else, please don't worry. What is the grade 1 syllabus? Okay, let's discuss. What are they doing? They're going to revise all the numbers that your children have done in senior KG, which you can do at home. They're going to introduce basic grammar, which is basically nouns, pronouns, basic reading. They, of course, going to get the children to write a little bit. You can do the same at home. So you shouldn't be worried about the transition. First of all, just take that stress out. Your receiving school is more worried than you are, because they have to perform these kids. Okay, your job is done. Now they're back in school. You take that much deserved break.
Yeah, I think that was really, it was really required. That it has come from you now. And if I talk about the elder ones, like it's a second year of pandemic, and most of the mothers, they must be going through the phase, where kids are a little anxious and they are restless while attending the virtual session. So what's your take on it? How to deal with it? Because
so I think you have to identify the root cause of this restlessness. Okay, a lot of children find that they need, and this has been our experience and our research. They haven't slept well. They haven't woken up to a routine. They haven't showered. They haven't eaten well. Those are the causes really where your body is not ready. There hadn't been any physical fitness. So basically your body is in a sedentary, state through the day, and then you have to still sit in front of the screen. So one, if you can get a routine in place and physical fitness, they have to get that energy out, guys. It's very important. Take it from a sportsman's wife, and he drills this into my son, who's possibly the most laziest kid ever, because he doesn't like physical fitness. And this is a mother who's supposed to have it in control, but non-negotiable. He has to exercise, he has to cycle, he has to skip, and he's realized when he's done that, his stamina has increased, his tolerance for sitting on the screen has increased, he's eating better, and he's sleeping better at night. The other bit is have some essential agreements with them, guys. You've got to do it. I have open conversations with my son. I said, okay, stay awake the whole night. I will not stop you, but in the morning at 7:30, when your alarm goes off, you will wake up with a smile, you will shower, you'll come on the breakfast table, and by 9 you will log on. He has regretted it because for 3 days he could do everything, but in the morning, that forced smile, that tiredness, and his teachers have caught him out because he was sleeping in class. And I let it be, because I can't be standing there and saying, are you awake? Are you doing this? I'm not that kind of mom, and please never be that kind of mom. Let the teacher reprimand him a bit, because I said it's the teacher's responsibility. So she sent me an email and I responded. He has not slept the night. This is an experiment we're trying. communicate with your school as well. I think it's very important to get your teachers to talk to your children as well. Honestly, parents, children like structure. So you think that too much freedom will give them that place of being, calm and all of that. Misnomer, that doesn't happen. You have to set some structures in, but with older kids, you have to have dialogues. After that, we sat down and I said, okay, how many hours do you want to game? He's a gamer. He plays esports as well for his school. His school endorses them. So I said, I want collective screen time when it comes to entertainment and collective screen time when it comes to learning. You tell me. We added up together. I said, okay, those many hours you need to exercise and these many hours you need to sleep. He's realized that 24 hours were exhausted. So then we went backward and we negotiated. But honestly, it's work in progress. And I will say this with all simplicity, every week we tweak the schedule. Okay, because it doesn't work that, now it's done, now he has to follow it. It doesn't work. So you're going to have to be flexible.
That's right.
Wonderful.
And mothers are mothers at the end of the day. They have solution to every problem.
Yeah. And stop bailing them out. So, this is another secret I have to share. So when my son doesn't want the camera on, he has to get his mom to write to the school. So I don't do that because I feel that's a school rule. I'll respect it. I'm not going to send emails. The day we had low Wi-Fi, he said, now there's a legitimate excuse. Please send her an email. But I think they have to want for it. And just once, and I've sent the school an email, I said, I'm doing it without my son asking. So she said, why are you doing this? I said, because I wanted to see the joy on his face. And then for him to know that I didn't listen to you. I'm giving this off because I wanted to see what you would do with it. He said, it's no fun with the camera off because I want to say something. So, guys, you'll have to work out the equation between your children.
Right. You have to be friends with them. Absolutely.
And I think Dr. Shweta do that with her son as well. I think we should.
I feel that, letting them take that responsibility sorts it very early in life. Otherwise, you can just keep on nagging them and it'll really never help. Wonderful.
So also, when I start talking in the morning, he's like, is this going to be a sermon? Because then just quickly tell me, I'll just do it, because we tend to do that. No, it starts like a monologue and, I think you should, and, ideally, and he's like, oh God, when you use that word, I know this is going to be a long one. I think we should change our,
This actually resonates so much with what I do with my son. And then he would say I'll say, come, I need to talk to you. And the first thing he'll ask me, is it going to take time? Because he's realized that kuch bada aane wala hai.
Right. And
Dr. Shweta, I don't know if I have a son in grade 10 and I've realized that when he and I have difference of opinion, the best way now to communicate with him is through WhatsApp. Because instead of screaming at him, because I wanted to scream. I mean, this is just ridiculous what you have done. I mean, this is just not acceptable. And, how could you? Of course, I'm a mom. I go through all the emotions, right? And I'm expecting my son to behave, not academically, behave in a certain way. So I send him a message and he's like, even your messages are really long, Mom. Get to the point. But he gets to the point.
That was interesting. I think I'm going to try it soon.
Yeah, and it works brilliant on their spellings, on their sentence construction. I don't correct him that time, but I do make it a point to say, hey, by the way, you want to think about where you put the comma. And he'll just roll his eyes and like, really?
That's amazing, Fatima. There's so much to learn from you because my son is 8 years old and I think it's time to start something like this. Yeah, and as you told us, Fatima, that you are an avid reader. So I want to ask, what's the book that had the greatest impact on you, or what kind of life-changing book?
Okay, so it's not had the greatest impact, but I don't know if you can see it. It's actually I'm very interested in history. And I'm very interested in the whole evolution of how it happened and why it happened and why culturally we're so different. Why, in terms of physicality as well. There's so much difference. So I love the short history. Well, it's this author's version of it, but I think this book taught me, and every time I reread it, it gives me a different perspective. Also because I've grown. I am 46, 47 soon. My experiences have added on to the book. I think it's a storehouse of information. I wish this book could actually be read by the seniors. My son is reading this with me right now. His take is very different because our experiences are very different. And he has a different view of the world. I have a different view of the world. So, this is the one that makes it. And I thought I'll carry it.
Okay. So I think, friends, if you want to ask anything from Fatima, so please.
Khushbu has so many questions in mind right now. She doesn't know where to begin from.
And go for it. I've just told you just ask me the same question again. That's fine. I'll give you I'll explain it more in detail. Feel free.
My daughter is 3.
Okay. And
I don't know how to make her more confident in whatever she's doing. She's shy and she takes time to learn things. At times she becomes stubborn also, that she doesn't want to sit. And it gets
overwhelming. Yeah.
For me at times. And overwhelming also, exactly like what to do.
Okay. What is she like? What does she like? She must like something.
Her father.
Okay. Apart from human beings, she likes to draw, she likes to paint, she likes music, she likes to just sit out and gaze out of the window.
She doesn't play on her own.
She wants
to play on her own.
Oh, lovely. So one, please identify and recognize she's already got a skill that most 3-year-olds don't have, which is independence. Most children who are, perhaps the more quiet type, more private, as I like to call it. I don't call them shy. Shy is this occasion, in this age. Don't label her. So more private children. Mine was a private kid as well. Okay, so I completely relate with you. I'd love for him to go to a party and open up like all the other children did. He won't. He'd sit next to me and wait. Once or twice I asked him, okay, what is it that you don't like? He's saying, they're excited about Three Little Pigs story. It's a silly story, mama. So he didn't enjoy those activities. So you've got to start first appreciating that you've got something that others don't, which is an independent child. Start from that. Don't get overwhelmed. You're in a super good space. Second, just start having conversations with her. Tell her something that you don't like, that you do. And then ask her what she doesn't like to do. Start with these little conversations. I promise you, children open up when they know you're not judging them. Today, if I look at you, I see anxiety on your face. You know what? She's picked up on it. But somewhere in her subconscious mind, and children are amazing at this, they've sensed they're not living up to your expectation. So if you see a mom who is chilled out, who's saying, okay, you become her confidant. She sounds like a confident kid in that sense because she's independent, but she also doesn't want to be judged. I mean, telling you, for a 3-year-old, Dr. Shweta, independence is an amazing attribute. You're very lucky. So start off by appreciating that and celebrating that, telling her, I'm so proud that you can do this on your own and you enjoy spending time on your own. Start praising her instead of being negative towards her. Don't put your ideal thoughts of, Priyas of online. She doesn't want to sit, right? That's fine. First, start understanding why she doesn't. Maybe she doesn't like the teacher, and that's fine. That's fine. My son has gone for an interview, a school interview, and the teacher was asking him a question. He said, I'm sorry, but I don't like you. So I cannot answer your questions. Of course, he didn't get into that school and I didn't want him to go into that school. But I'm going to trust my kid. I need my kid confident and I need my kid secure. She's sensing an insecurity that's creeping in your relationship. Don't do that. Okay, Khushbu, laugh. joke with her, have fun with her. Tell her something really silly that you did and you didn't want to, but you had to do it.
Okay.
Tell her your childhood story, make up something to try and get her to tell you what she doesn't like. Okay, and if she doesn't want to sit in front of the screen, can we change the position where she is? I found that children who are not sitting for at least 10 minutes, I mean, I can't expect preschoolers to sit beyond 10 minutes, also have a problem with where we're placing them. Let her sit on the floor, don't do the bed, change the routine around, make it a celebration when she's sitting, and tell her that I will trust you. The moment you want to get up, you will tell me, and I'll be happy to log off. Give her that comfort that you're okay and that you're not judging her for not sitting as per time. You connect with the teacher and say, I'm trying this out. You tell me what you have done and I'll sit with her, or can I get her to do one-on-one? I know preschool teachers are ready to do that as well. Maybe she's getting overwhelmed. Maybe, if there's so many of us and I'm staring at so many faces on the screen, I'm getting a bit scared. Maybe it could be that. So maybe that one-on-one will help, and then one becomes 2, 3. I feel we put our children down. I think we need to start trusting them and stop comparing them with any 3-year-old. I'm telling you, you're lucky. You've got someone who's independent. I know moms who cry, छोड़ता ही नहीं है, पीछे ही पड़ जाता है. मैं किचन में जाती हूँ, वो पीछे आ जाता है. बाथरूम में जाती हूँ, पीछे आ जाता है. So you can actually now come up with tasks for her to do. What she was learning in school, perhaps ask the teacher in advance, what are you going to do? So you go over some concepts with her. She's then more confident to respond. So, you can help. You can preset what she is experiencing, but honestly ask her what it is, and you'll be amazed how quickly she will.
Sure.
I think Khushbu, you're just too stressed today. You look too stressed today.
Yeah.
Not the usual Khushbu also.
A little bit. Now I will do change what I'm doing with her.
Precisely.
And smile. And just smile and laugh it out.
I think that is what it is. We think about we'll change what we are doing with them, but first we have to change what we are doing with ourselves. So probably you have to change what you're doing with yourself right now, Khushbu. And I think everything else, you'll find a way.
Fall in place, yes.
Will fall in place, yes, ma'am.
Khushbu, again, just to give you some comfort, just before I logged on, I almost vented out to my husband because the guys who are coming to do some acoustic sound, suddenly there's a problem in the wall and all of that, have demanded some stamp paper and some ridiculous documents. Okay, I said I'll sue you. I'll say in COVID-19 times you cannot have stamp paper and franking and all of this. So and I vented it out to someone. Which is why I'm so happy when I've come here, because Ajit said, I'm going on air. If you're happy with what you've done, then I proceed. But you have to talk it out with someone. So maybe your husband should be your sounding board to say, listen, I'm stressed, get it out. And when you are with your kid, be happy.
Yes, sure, definitely.
Hello. Hi Fatima ma'am, I'm so sorry I cannot put on my video because there's a lot of internet issue here, and it's very nice to hear you. And I have a question. My daughter, I have 2 daughters, and my elder daughter is also in 10th standard. And there's one specific thing that's I think troubling me more than my daughter, I feel. In last just 1.5 year, it's not possible for her to go and meet her friends, and so she has not been in a lot of touch with her friends because all the more the schools are closed and she cannot go and meet them. And there's one peculiar thing that whatever 2-3 friends she has, most of them are on Insta. And they always want to chat with her, if at all, if my daughter wants to, only on Insta or something like this, So I am very worried that if she will start interacting with them on Insta. Probably she'll waste a lot of time there rather than concentrating in studies. And moreover, the fear that, I always feel that friends are very important in life. And the anxiety that I am having right now is that what will happen? Will my child, after, this pandemic is over, will she be able to, go and mix with friends? What is happening? Because of this thing, she's not talking to her friends much. So, how do I overcome this?
Okay, so I'm going to address the first part first, and the second part will follow.
Sure. Ji.
Okay, so the good part is you and I are in the same boat.
Yeah.
And also, I have to admit, I've had this conversation with my son, because he talks to, so we have a family chat, Ajit, Raj and I, and we chat on WhatsApp when Ajit's traveling. But other than that, he does not use WhatsApp. So this generation is using Insta to chat.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was very concerned because, he does have an Insta account, and I'm very mindful. I watch what he posts. He doesn't post. He thinks his mother posts way too much. And he's like, I don't understand social media. And why do you do it? So all of that. But when I asked him, I said, why don't you chat on WhatsApp or, another enabler? Why are you using Insta? He said, because a lot of my friends use it. We discuss stuff, it all, basic stuff, like what we would have done on WhatsApp. So what's the difference between the medium? So I said, no, because then you might be accessing something on Insta. He said, Mom, you're accessing information anyway. You think we cannot access information despite all the firewalls? So I think one, you're going to have to allow your child, that ability to now be responsible and chat. I've set one condition. I said, if there are, if there's slander, if there is abuse in any form, if you are sidelining some kids, because unfortunately this is happening, if there is any sort of, those are rules and grounds are given.